Kentucky Derby's talking about the trainer as we look at some of the hot connections here on the West Coast, and also the Santa Ynez. This is a race. How about the only race Beholder lost at Santa Anita in her first 13 attempts? So we're going to focus in on the Santa Ynez. And we also have some big news about a Breeders' Cup champion who, yes, indeed, is coming back next year. Talking about She's So Spicy and her plans for 2026.
Yeah, very excited to have the crew on as well for us to break that news live on FanDuel TV. That's why you got to be watching us on FanDuel TV all the time.
Now, we're only in the second weekend of January, but in terms of the Derby Trail, which, Curtis, we have right behind us, the Smarty Jones was taken in impressive fashion with a horse that got bet at the windows. Yeah,
strategic risk for Mark Casse was very impressive. I already saw some people saying, there's your Derby winner. Pump the brakes a little bit. It's January.
All right, let's take a look back at the effort in the Smarty Jones from last Saturday, and we had on-site coverage.
The Smarty Jones Stakes with Derby points on the line here at Oaklawn Park. What a place. The on-site crowd today, phenomenal. Javier Castellano riding the 7 Strategic Risk. Beat Florida Bred Company last time out.
I really like it the way he did last time. Very follow position horse, very professional. I like the way he did it and the way he finished too as well.
Strategic Risk blows the doors off the field. He wins the In Reality by almost 10 lengths.
This is a step up in class, facing horses that have accomplished a good amount.
The number 7 Strategic Risk. Do not sleep on this horse. This is a serious animal. Physically stacked up with anybody else in this group. I absolutely think he's fit to the task today.
21 Derby points on the line in the Smarty Jones Stakes.
What would be the game plan here given the composition of this race?
Well, it seemed to me the early race, the follow position horses, they've been winning. I think I tried to get a good position the first time, nice and comfortable ready, and see how he developed the race.
As they go into the far turn.
You couldn't draw it up any better for Javier Castellano in this race. You want to be part of the pace. You want to be slow. They go 49-3 for the half after a 24-2 opening quarter. Give him credit for being able to place himself and get that perfect trip, which he was able to receive.
Look great. I mean, they had slow fractions up front, and Javier, I mean, he rode the horse last time. He came here for a reason. He did just that. I mean, he had a great trip and a great win.
The Strategic Risk was so impressive here today.
As they come down the lane, and Strategic Risk just pounced on the early leader and kicks away.
I mean, he just pulls away from this field. He had the best trip in this race by a mile, and when you have the best trip by a mile and you're a quality racehorse, you're going to win by a lot.
It's Strategic Risk and the Smarty Jones. He won for fun.
His 3 wins have been by about a combined 20-21 lengths. So when he wins big.
And how about jockey Javier Castellano, winning the Derby a couple years ago with Mage? He's back on the trail.
We're on the Derby trail, so it's another step forward, and we'll keep going. Hopefully, keep improving, but we're excited.
Strategic Risk shows up big time.
And the Smarty Jones has risen over the last few years. We've had a favorite in the Derby, Angel of Empire, and we've had a Derby winner, Mystic Dan, who actually ran 5th in the Smarty Jones. And Curtis, how about the Florida Breds coming from that Gulfstream circuit over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, the state bred program is really amping up, especially down there in South Florida. But Caleb, one thing I love about Strategic Risk too, this was a homebred for John Oxley, Mark Casse. Not only did they have the dam, they had Noble Bird. That is his first stakes winner, Strategic Risk.
And Noble Bird at one point had the Keeneland track record, mile and 1/8. That was when they kind of reset after the dirt went back to reinstallment. But nice looking horse there in the Florida Bred. Got bet from 6-1 down to 5-2. All right, from Florida to California, in terms of how we get to the Santa Anita Derby, we got that big 100-point race coming up in early April. But, Curtis, one race that is not for qualifying points happening today, but still a key race.
Yeah, the San Vicente Stakes, and you talked about there have been several key horses that have won this race over the years. We look back last year, what Bob Baffert was able to do with Barnes, and I know Barnes didn't pan out to be the horse that we all thought he would be going 2 turns, but still a pivotal race moving up to the Santa Anita Derby. I don't have a journalism this year. The last year I looked at this, it was like journalism. I don't have a journalism yet. We'll see if we can find one today.
Let's take a little closer look at the big race coming today and revisit some of the champions of the San Vicente.
It may not offer official Derby points, but the San Vicente Stakes is a proven portal to this winner's circle. Legends like Swaps, Silver Charm, and Majestic Prince all used this 7-furlong test to launch their 3-year-old Triple Crown dreams. And just 10 years ago, we saw Nyquist deliver a masterpiece, clocking the fastest dirt time in the history of the race. Today, the San Vicente has become the Baffert Invitational, with 14 wins under his belt. His recent victories have been piloted by this man, Juan Hernandez. Winner of the last 4 editions of this race, he now seeks to break a tie with the legendary Bill Shoemaker by claiming an historic 5th straight victory. This is the Grade 2 San Vicente Stakes.
And not only did Nyquist win the San Vicente and win the Derby, the second place horse Exaggerator was the runner-up in the Kentucky Derby itself, and Silver Charm from the 90s also won this race. But Curtis, as we know with these Santa Anita Stakes races, small field and a lot of Bob Baffert.
2 for Bob Baffert. He also has Greenwich Village on the rail, broke the maiden on debut. Juan Hernandez, as you heard Mike say there in the video recap, that Juan Hernandez, the main pilot for Baffert, so wherever Hernandez goes, that's likely the horse that's going to be most likely winner. But we've seen the quote-unquote other Baffert get the job done more than once.
And when your name is Butane, you got to have the gas in the morning showing off that brilliant speed for a horse that costs, million plus here for the son of Tiz the Law. And as we take a look at the activities here, we know that Bob Baffert works his horses very sharply, but a lot of 59s on that 5 furlong work tab.
I mean, he's been beating down the barn door here. You look at how fast he's been consistently. I was shocked he didn't show up in the Los Alamitos Futurity, because you see in early December all those strong works that he had, but Baffert thinking, no, we'll wait. We're going to save this horse for the San Vicente, and this hopefully will lead to bigger and better things for that horse right there.
And when you look at Bob Baffert, you got Butane, Litmus Test, and Brand. What do they all have in common? They've won every race they've run except for the ones they ran against Ted Noffey.
I mean, you're de facto Breeders' Cup juvenile champion, or de facto 2-year-old champion after winning the Breeders' Cup. Of course, it's going to be very sharp here if you can try and not have to face a Ted Noffey, but there is a horse that I think just the outside of Butane, Caleb, might be upset-minded.
And acknowledge me, please, a Ridgeling by Bucaro. Keep in mind, Bucaro basically had the top sprinter in the land last year with Buck Gumdano, and this horse has got the trainer on his side, because Doug O'Neill feeling it turning into the new year. Here's a guy that's won not 1 but 2 Kentucky Derbies, and he's riding a hot streak right now. 4 wins yesterday alone. Look at the average payout was $18.80, and looks like he's got some similar prices today.
And he's no stranger to upsetting Bob Baffert. Just yesterday, Baffert had Cherokee Nation. He also had Blacksmith in a maiden special race going a mile. And it was Doug O'Neill with Emicio Jaramillo in the saddle. I was so excited when I heard Jaramillo was going to come to California and move his tack here, because he's one of the best speed gate jockeys in the land. And so he put his horse on the front end, put the Baffert horses in chase mode. They were never able to get by him.
And later on in the program, we're going to have a couple of turfers there for Doug O'Neill with Geez and Refocus. But, acknowledge me, please. Here's a race going back to basically just a few days before Halloween. And the verdict's still out on this horse that finished second. You mentioned that Blacksmith got beat yesterday. Blacksmith, who is going to run second here with some late strides, he did run second in the Los Al Futurity for Derby points, but he is still a maiden. But the one, acknowledge me please, runs a flawless race this day on the lead.
He has 2 siblings who were both stakes placed. I think in a field of 5, you're definitely going to see him have a strong chance to be a graded stakes placed runner. The question is, will anybody light a fire to Butane, make him go too fast early on? Maybe Butane has to chase Acknowledge Me Please, because you mentioned his sire, Bucaro. Boy, the Bucaros are fast.
From the boys to the girls as we switch from the Derby to the Oaks Trail. Now, we well know that the male circuit on the West Coast has been like the feeder track here going into a race like the Derby. The California fillies, however, maybe have not been as strong, but the Santa Ynez, we've seen some greats come through this race. Even Beholder got beat, as I mentioned in this race earlier. But Explora, the number 5, we have seen the number 5 get beat twice as a short favorite, but was runner-up in the Breeders' Cup.
One of those 2 defeats, you mentioned the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. The other was the 7 furlong Del Mar Debutante. Well, what distance are they doing today? I don't think that she gets beat today. I wish that I could tell you, yeah, let's try and beat a 3 to 5 favorite. No, use her as the free square that she looks like. If you're playing the pick 5, you want to play rolling pick 3s, you want to play doubles. She looks like the most likely winner on the card to me.
Let's take a look at the guy with the white hair and the shades who dominates pretty much every race on the West Coast. Now, to my point, this is an amazing list, like we've seen so many. But when you look at this list, almost none of those horses really had a true impact on the Oaks Trail. Maybe a horse like Explora with that Blame pedigree, or another rival in the race, could be more of a serious contender. We have seen Abel Tasman come from the West Coast, but it's a little bit more rare than with the boys. There is a look at the Santa Ynez. Those are going to come early in the program today. Both, Curtis, are in the early pick 5.
Yeah, so again, if you want to play that early pick 5, key her in that, single her in that spot. I also think maybe you can single Butane. But you look at what Explorer has done. Yes, she was beat in the juvenile fillies, but that was a very speed-favoring track at Del Mar all weekend, both especially on the dirt, but on the turf as well. She almost caught Super Corredora there. Her last win came at Santa Anita. It was going 2 turns. I mentioned she did lose her 1 try at the 7 furlong setup. But I love this stat at the bottom. Her career earnings, $568,000, more than the other fillies combined in the race. So you take those 4, combine all their earnings, and then she still don't hold a candle to Explorer.
Now, Beyer speed figure wise, there's only 11 points from tip to tail. If you look at their last out speed figure, only 11 points covers the whole field, with Explorer having the one in the low 80s. That would be the top number in the race. Now we go from a 3-year-old filly, just turned, to a recently turned 4-year-old filly. Talking about She's So Spicy. And this was fun. The owners wanted to get involved. We're always asking, what's next for this horse? Do you have a plan mapped out? And as of Thursday on FanDuel TV, the owners gave us just that.
They did, and it's going to be a true worldwide trip for She's So Spicy. And we just really hope and pray that she stays healthy, because they've got big, lofty goals for her, but she's got to be healthy to make it there.
Soon to be Eclipse champion, and you got exclusive coverage and access this Thursday on FanDuel TV from the owners themselves.
Let's talk Eclipse, because she's definitely in the running for multiple categories. What are you expecting there as far as the voters?
I mean, look, first of all, super proud to be nominated 3 times for a 3-year-old filly. Look, I don't know if she's broken a lot of records. I don't know if this is one as well, but just happy to be in those, in mentions with some of those top horses in the country. So look, for me, I'd like to sweep it. I'd like to get all 3 of them. But if we walk away with one, it's a super proud moment, just to have one.
Jose, Rich, it's been a fantastic 2025. I guess we'll find out on the 22nd of January, later this month, if she will take out the top honours there. But everyone wants to know where and when will she be racing again in 2026. So, Rich, without further ado, we could have brought the drum band in here. We would have got that lead up. But where will we see She's So Spicy next to the races?
Well, I'd like Jose to kind of explain and announce it.
Yes, we have plenty of options with her. We decided to bring her to the Middle East, running her on the 1,351 turf sprint on Saudi Arabia, where, like you said before, like she ran a huge year last year, and she beat the boys, being a 3-year-old. So the way that she's training, I feel that she can compete at this level.
Look, at the same time, real quick, the money makes a difference, right? I think for the competition, I think the better opportunity for her is out there, show the world. And look, here's another thing. Some other people said she wasn't fast, she wasn't this. Right now, who is it, Kai Rising? I'd love to see a match race with her and Kai. That'd be amazing. And I'm up for it. So maybe one day.
Hey, there it is. Shots fired. Connections behind Kai Rising. We want to see a showdown. Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere. It doesn't matter. She's So Spicy is waiting for you. But I guess, Jose, talk to us about that trip to Ascot and expected and going across to the Middle East later this year. What's the personality, character like of She's So Spicy? Do you expect her to adapt pretty quickly going into a new environment?
She's a special horse. She's a very good traveler. She used to adapt very well. Like we said, after Ascot, everything was different with this trip, because we had to go to France and from France to England, so it was a long way. But if you see her record, she went to Kentucky Downs without any problem. She went to Auckland and she ran a huge race, running second. Was her last time on there. She went to California, Churchill. And to California, we went like 5 days before from Lexington. She's smart. She know what she's doing. that's her. She's special. So we're going to be fine there.
It'd be great to see her on the world stage on Dubai World Cup Day. Alca Sprint, that's going to be perfect for her. That's not a turn. That is just a straight dash down the track there at Meydan. So that is going to be a good spot for her. Then you're going to pick, it's said to be determined, you could pick a spot out at Saratoga when you come back?
Yes, like last year after we like the summers in Saratoga and she loved trained there. So that's our plan. We are going to Middle East, looking forward to Rome, Saudi. If everything flows good, we are going to Dubai. This year we have more time in between the races, so that's good for her. We're back in Saratoga and we're gonna make plans from there.
So, and it's the same route, right? Go to Saratoga, hopefully from there bounce to Kentucky Downs, and then to the Breeders' Cup.
Rich, okay, real simple. Have we seen the best out of She's So Spicy yet, or is there more improvement to come in 26?
Listen, she's gotten older, bigger, wiser. She's a very smart horse, and I don't think we've seen the best of her yet.
Wow, that could be an ominous sign for all of the rivals trying to target some of these big prize purses going through a new racing season.
Well, considering the Breeders' Cup has the fastest horses in the world, and I feel confidently that She's So Spicy had easily the best gate break of the Breeders' Cup, which she, of course, took that to the winner's circle. You could definitely argue, Curtis, this is the fastest horse going in the world currently.
Yeah, and I love that the connections are saying we recognize Cayenne Rising, right? You've got one of the toughest horses to beat in the world. Let's see if we can have a matchup against the two of them in the Middle East. One thing that I noticed, Caleb, they said that she's better with spaces between races. We saw how horses that ran in Saudi Arabia on the big Saudi Cup night then went to Dubai World Cup night, and none of them were able to match that form. So hopefully she can kind of buck that trend we saw this year.
Now, January is award season for the year prior, as, of course, we're tallying up the Eclipse votes, soon to be having that ceremony in South Florida, but also the NTRA moment of the year. This is really fun because the fans have a chance to vote on it, and they selected over 10 moments from last year for you to choose. Let's take a closer look.
And is opening up late to a 3-link lead as they come down to the wire. It is going to be Good Cheer, the undefeated filly, to win the Kentucky Oaks. Sovereignty has taken the lead. Journalism is second toward the inside. Ynez is third, but it will be Sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby. Journalism is still running on. He's back into second. He might even win it. Here's the wire. Oh my goodness. Journalism. Leaving absolutely no doubt who the best 3-year-old in the world is. Sovereignty and Junior Alvarado in the Belmont Stakes. Journalism, here he comes with those big, robust strides. Journalism, he's the headliner today.
Sovereignty pouring it on. And for the first time since 1995, we have a Kentucky Derby, Belmont, and DraftKings Travers winner.
Fierceness and John Velasquez still there at the 16th pole. Journalism is all out, and he's not doing enough to beat the beast from the east. Fierceness has won the Pacific Classic by 3. 1 Vermont to run. Ted Noffey there at the 16th pole. Brand is not done yet. He's coming back. Ted Noffey, Brand, Mystery Peas in it 2. Here's the wire. Ted Noffey did it. Still forever young to catch. Fierceness is coming. Sierra Leone and Journalism. They're coming to the finish. And it is forever young. Celebrate Japan.
Growth Trajectory on the grandstand side. It is Toes who's taking the lead. Can Growth Trajectory help Flavien Prat now reach the new record in New York? It's Growth Trajectory who wins it.
So many great moments, and you have the chance to decide using that QR code. But Curtis, taking a look past the last year, what was standing out for you?
So many great moments, but honestly, Caleb, for me, it's Forever Young winning the Breeders' Cup Classic. It was a rematch of last year's Breeders' Cup Classic trifecta, plus you throw in Journalism, who was in that package as many times as Sovereignty was, plus you throw in Baeza, all the other horses, Mindframe, who got snubbed from the Eclipse Award finalist list, and then you just throw in Forever Classic having the ride of a lifetime from Risa Sakai, building off of what was already a great year because he won the Saudi Cup. That was my favorite race of the year. So celebrate Japan. I think that Forever Young for me is going to be the moment of the year.
And also that Journalism, Preakness, I think, could be in the running as well. Larry Colmus aced that call down the lane with the collision turning for home, and Journalism still got there amidst all of that trouble. Now, as for later on today in our racing program on FanDuel TV, we've got some great offers for you, including the Money Back Special, our most popular offer here through the FanDuel Racing app and website. We have 4 races today. Late in the program today, Curtis, at Goldstream, we had the Florida Bred Stakes races. We got 1 for the Fairgrounds and 2 from Santa Anita.
And both races at Santa Anita, they're going to be turf races, so you don't have to worry about those dirt races with the small fields with Bob Baffert potentially dominating them. Opt in. Those are the 2 key words, Caleb. Opt in on your FanDuel Racing account. Take advantage. I love this promo.
Thanks for tuning in here on social. We're getting an early start on this Saturday, and we've set the table for what looks to be some star-studded performances later on today. Best of luck in all of your wagers, and special thanks to everybody that brought this telecast to life. Come on back, and we're going to start the day here on this special Saturday.